this has been the most underwhelming season in recent memory. I mean, Braves were picked to be one of the World Series darlings, and just hasn't
I thought so too.
I can't find it, man. I could have sworn I had a tiny violin somewhere.
I love it. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Buggs. Good to be here.
Good to be here as well. I want to jump right into some housekeeping. But before we do that, got to say hello to producer Papa Bear with us along this journey once again. What's up?
Hello, guys.
PB.
And with us, of course, along with Papa Bear is our esteemed guest, Jonathan Bowen. Jonathan, say hello.
Hello, thank you. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. We got a lot of exciting things in store. There's a lot of your journey that has mirrored Nick and I's journey. And we noticed that right away as we spent the last week and a half in the world of Jonathan Bowen, just researching you and everything you've ever done and said.
It's like that's a
not
book
to freak
title.
you out.
That's a book title, bro. In the world of Jonathan Bowen.
Yeah, in the world of Jonathan Bowen. That's what we're going to dig into today, folks. So I hope you're ready for that. We have a lot of fun segments and things in store for you. But like I said, first things first, couple of pieces of housekeeping. One, I'm sweating bullets right now. Guys, look at my face. It's already getting moist. Why is that? My thermostat in the studio went off, and we're not. And the show must go on. You know, I'm a soldier.
It must.
I'm a soldier.
And Chris, just for you, I turned my thermostat down as well. I guess that didn't help because it's cooler in my house. My bad, bro.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, I'm going to take my shirt off.
Hey, flex
Does
on
America
them.
want to see that?
If you
Does
got
the world want to see
flex
that?
on them. No, I appreciate looking at you sweating like a sinner in church. It's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, been there. So, you know.
He dabbing. What you need is that MLK fan.
Yeah, I need. Where's the old lady fan? I need the. I might use this pad as one right here. So if you guys see me fanning and tapping, that's because I'm trying to keep the sweat from dripping down my face as we do this wonderful interview. Second piece of housekeeping is on the Joe Ligo episode at the very end, maybe towards the middle. Oh my, Jonathan's trolling me right now. For those just listening, he put a Snuggie on. But in the last episode, for those listening, now for those watching, Editor Kate put the correction on the screen. They saw that I made a flub. But for those just listening, you have spent the last couple of weeks thinking that I am an idiot, and you may not be completely wrong, but I said that Michael Mann was dead, and I was thinking about Michael Madsen, who is also in Heat, who did just recently pass away. So me, don't kill me. Me, not Michael Mann. Shout out to Michael Mann, still alive and well, still doing amazing things. I meant Michael Madsen. Nick?
Yeah, he called me, bro.
Too.
Yeah,
How many times did he call?
Yeah, he called me. He was like, bro, I am not dead. I'm like, I know. We're going to make the correction. Housekeeping. Just wait till the next episode.
Just give us time to...
Exactly.
This is why we need to go to every week again, maybe, so the housekeeping comes a little faster.
No, we got to let him sit on it.
Because now Michael Mann's been dead for 2 weeks.
in the minds of thousands.
Yeah, in the minds of thousands. It's not good. So tens of thousands now.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Yeah, excited.
But yeah, so my housekeeping was just, we got the PG County Film Festivals, the PG Film Festival going on in PG County, Maryland. That's happening this week. It starts tomorrow, the 26th, and it goes through October 4th. So the only little piece of housekeeping is, yes, I did say that, but what we put on the screen said September 24th through October 4th. So I just want to make sure everybody knows it's tomorrow. I'll be there. It'll be great.
Yeah, and what he means by on the screen is the last episode again with Joe Ligo. We had on the screen, the graphic was sort of incorrect. Okay, with that being said, guys, how about we jump into some Story is King? We good with that?
Let's do it.
Okay. Jonathan, what should we know you for?
Yes. I guess Probably Amy Allison fans originally, but I do think the comic shop that just came out this year is something that, obviously more people would have heard of. So those are the two main things.
And what is Amy Allison fans? Because it does have an interesting title where if you didn't know that was a movie, you might think that's actual fans. So yeah, describe that.
It's giving me MySpace feels. You know what I'm saying? No. Like there's a there's a period of time. But go ahead, hit us with it, man.
Yes, absolutely. So Amy Allison fans is the title, but it is also the title of the fan site in the movie. And so the movie, it was my first feature, and it was kind of also based around when I was younger. I ran some fan sites like for Vin Diesel, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I'll be honest, it was purely about the money. Like it was a time at the internet where you could make money, selling posters and affiliate links and all that. So I had this idea that what if there was two actors who moved to Hollywood to make it, like everybody does, right? And her career really took off, and his goes nowhere. And so then forced to pay the bills, like his half of the rent and student loans, he launches a fan site about his own girlfriend, but without telling her. And so that was kind of like the basis of this romantic comedy. I would describe it as a guy's romantic comedy, more like I Love You Man or something, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Those are kind of, inspirations. But yeah, so that was the basic idea.
Love it, man. So what are you working on now?
I've got a number of things right now. Like I've got one that I can't really talk about because it's something where it depends on a person saying yes to the project, and that person doesn't know about the project, but I know him, and I've worked with him. Oh. It's just a matter of putting together a pitch that would be appealing, basically. So that's something I've worked on. Like the biggest hint I can give is it's kind of like This Is Spinal Tap. Like it's like a mockumentary sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be really funny. And the way I would do it is mostly improv. Like the scenes would be well scripted. It has to be produced in a way that where you're going to be and what you're doing, what the point of the scene is. But the person is so funny that you want to kind of let them loose within those confines. So I just have my fingers crossed.
I know who it is.
It's Drewski.
I'm not going to say anything.
It's Drewski.
I know who it. Nope, it's not Drewski, but I know who it is. And it's not Vin Diesel. So I'm just going to tell y'all that.
Why would it be Vin Diesel?
Because he said he did the fan site for Vin Diesel.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay, got it. Oh,
yeah, I know.
I just connected those dots.
I wish, don't I?
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. See.
Oh, I got
so many Hewitt and Vin Diesel.
All right. Oh well, I'm excited to see that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what's really funny though is we always talk about that. It's the guys who are really creepy. Like they're the stalkers and all. I almost didn't get any emails ever from any guy saying, "Oh my gosh, Jennifer Love Hewitt, I love you." Like it happened. It did happen, but it happened probably fewer than 10 times. I would say I got like 10 emails a week on Vin Diesel World. And he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Vin Diesel, you're so hot. Like, I want to marry you." And I was like, it literally says at the bottom of the site, this is a fan site, not in any way associated with Vin Diesel. And I am not Vin Diesel.
Wow.
But it didn't matter. It was just really funny.
So I got a question. Did you send the panties back when you got them in the mail, or did you keep those? All right.
That's awesome, man. There's a missed opportunity right there. I didn't have an address.
See, there you go.
I'm not going to ask you what that opportunity is or was,
but he also didn't answer.
Yeah, he also didn't answer. Yeah, he kept those panties. Those panties are in the crib, special drawer, hidden away.
Right.
I like it. Listen, I won't guess the person, but I think that if the idea is good enough, and this is just my thinking on it, and you're passionate about it, please don't let it hinge on one person saying yes or no.
Sure.
The comic shop. Tell us about that feature film. That has Jesse Metcalf in it. I thought he did a great job. I watched the film. We all watched the film. Tell us about the comic shop.
Yeah, so the comic shop is basically about a guy, Mike, played by Jesse, who always wanted to be a comic artist. He didn't want to own a comic shop. But then, he ended up kind of falling into this, and it was his backup plan. And he just kind of accepted life as it came after that. He kind of gave up on his dreams. And you can see it at the start of the movie. The guy's struggling with alcohol here and there. He's grumpy. The business isn't going well after the pandemic. So now that, of course, imagine how depressing that is. You chose plan B, and even plan B is looking like a fail. That's rough. Yeah. So the comic shop was sort of based a lot on a real life guy I knew, who honestly, his name was Mike. And it was partially based on my experiences as well. So I took these two real life people and put them into one. And for me, it was kind of my way of artistically approaching that. I had been doing corporate work been running the company now for 17 years. And after my first feature, I had more than a decade gap. And of course, I wanted nothing more than to make another movie, but I just didn't have the money. I didn't have the means to make it happen. And since the first movie didn't really go where I wanted it to, I was just waiting on the sidelines. So I was kind of channeling a little bit of that into the character of Mike. And then, of course, there's a lot of fiction, like the character of Brandon, who's a teenager who moves to Vegas and starts going to the comic shop and is very inspired by Mike and sees his illustrations on the wall and whatnot. Brandon is kind of like a young Jonathan who was less cynical. So the movie was almost like, what if an older Jonathan met a younger Jonathan? What would the two think of each other? And they don't hit it off immediately.
That's very cool.
So there were some interesting things that, I was trying to put into there. And, of course, there's a heavy element of fiction. Like, I think sometimes you just use reality as a springboard to get you into the story. But it was a personal kind of story for me.
Yeah, we could kind of tell that, and it is dangerous. We commend your courage, your bravery to tell something that's so close to home. Back in my songwriting days, I always knew I had a good song whenever the people around me thought it was about them and were really upset about it. Whatever the song may be. That's when I knew my lyrics were good. That's when I knew the song was hitting. When people are apathetic, especially people around you, they don't want that. They don't give it any attention. It doesn't have any sort of attentional weight and resonance. You didn't do it, But when it does, and people are like, "Hey, that's about me," then you're touching on something. And it takes a lot of freaking courage and bravery to continue on that path, knowing that you might lose friends, family, whoever around you, or you might lose the ability to know them personally because they stop sharing intimate details of their life with you because it might show up in a memoir or something down the line or a film. Right. So I just commend you for your bravery on that one.
Yeah, well, I have to say this, Chris. I knew 100% for a fact that when you wrote Chocolate Rain, it was about me. So,
and it sold right away. It
did. That dude on YouTube, man, I can't remember his name. He picked it up and he made it a thing. So good job.
The rest is history. 15 billion streams later. Chocolate Rain.
Chris,
isn't that how it goes? Chocolate Rain.
My friends are jerks.
The song's called "My Friends Are Jerks."
How can you say it's not about me? You titled it "My Friends Are Jerks," and I'm your friend.
You're right. Yeah, he's never that on the nose. That's all I got to say.
I write songs like "Chocolate Rain" and "Six Dolphin." And things like that.
He got this one song. It was crazy. I was like, "Wait, is that about me?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Dude, it's called Black Guy Named Nick." So,
black guy named Nick. Come on, it can't be you.
Right, it can't be you, bro.
What a narcissist.
You're right.
Have you noticed that in this zeitgeist right now, Nick, that everybody sees a behavior they don't like and they're like, classic narcissism.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know this many people had psychology degrees. What's going on? Everybody's got the DMV, Papa Bear, in their back pocket now. Everybody's walking around with the DMV-4 now.
No,
that's classic
narcissism. The most popular, diagnosis now.
Yeah, let's just diagnose them on the spot for the one comment they made. Classic passive aggressive, narcissistic behavior. Yep. Anyway, anywho, back to Jonathan. I do want to just explain to the audience too. Just you mentioned that gap between features, and just to let them know, sort of what you were doing in between to sustain that was JLB Media Productions, right? Where you're shooting things for companies and brands all over the world.
Yeah. So our company, it started with a very cute idea that we were going to be in LA and I was going to be like L director on, all these corporate videos with nice budgets, and there'd be a small cast, small crew, very creative. And then we realized that no one really wanted to pay for that. They really just wanted little tour videos, let's say senior living tours or apartments, commercial real estate, things like that. And so our clients kind of drove us to being a nationwide company, because as we got more senior living companies, they said, well, we've got 48 different properties in 17 states. And you don't say no to money or clients. So you figure out a way.
Correct.
So gradually we built a system where we built a network of videographers all over the US, in small towns, major cities, backup options, all these. And that way we could offer the same price to a company, regardless if they're shooting in New York City or Bakersfield, California, or wherever else. And they like that consistency. They like to say, this is what this is going to cost. The quality is going to be standardized by the same company. We don't also have to go find 15, 20 production companies. We just find one and then have them do it all. So that kind of became our niche. But it's not something exciting, I don't talk to my friends about it. The extent that I would mention it is, if it was something like, oh, we had a record year last year, lots of money, yay. And then we started talking about video games because nobody wants to hear about the details of senior living videos or, whatever else we do. And we've done some other, we've done some cool videos here and there. Fantasy Flight Games. We did some basically animated videos for a Marvel game, a Star Wars game, I think a Game of Thrones thing, even if I remember right. But then some of the other stuff you think is going to be so cool ends up being so lame. There was some sort of thing where I had to sign an NDA, and it was for some defense contractor, and it was like a fighter jet. And I'm thinking oh, this is going to be awesome. We're going to have this whole video, and we're going to get to see all the cool systems and all. No, it was here's a joystick. You pull up on it, the plane goes one way. You go down, it goes the other. And I'm like, any 8-year-old at the flight sim knows that. How do I have to sign an NDA for this? I couldn't believe it. So,
they didn't show you the weaponry.
No, they did not.
Yeah, exactly. None of the cool stuff at all.
which is why you go and make a feature again, because you get that itch, that desire to make something creative beyond what brands want to do. And there's so many limitations when you do that brand work. Nick and I have so many friends that run production companies that do that. And, if the CEO isn't on the same page as his own marketing and creative team, you got to start completely over from the beginning. It can get
absolutely
pretty wild, even with the money, and then the sort of negotiating back and forth on what the money should be. Once that sort of happens, it can be a drag, and it can certainly make you want to go back into the creative realm. Speaking of creative,
absolutely.
Was there a moment, or is there a moment that you can think of, Jonathan, where you just knew, boom, I want to be a creative. I want to live the filmmaker life?
Yeah, I'll tell you that moment. I'm sorry, if I could just this one little story, I think you guys will laugh. We had this corporate, I was super excited about this because I finally got to actually write a script. They told me they wanted it funny. And, I felt this is cool. This is why corporate maybe could be fulfilling sometimes. So I write the script, and I thought it was very respectful. They said that it was too edgy because somebody had a tattoo, which I don't know how that's really that edgy.
Oh, not a tattoo.
And yeah, so they take the script, they completely neutered it. They took all the comedy out. It wasn't funny at all. And then when we go to cast it, I gave them 3 options for actor and 3 for actress. And I said, I strongly recommend number 1 on actor. The other 2 are much weaker candidates. I'm just being honest. And then the 2 actresses, I was like, I would really recommend 1. 2 is still pretty good. I think 3 is, I'd rather not. They chose number 3 on both of them. And then when we finish this thing, they're like absolutely shocked that the video didn't turn out better. And I'm like, well, I'm a DGA director and I'm here giving you advice and you didn't take it. I don't feel sorry for you at all. Like, you listen to the expert or you get what you get. And it was just like, that was the last creative thing I ever wrote like that. I basically decided, I told my top employee, I said, no more. Outsource the script writing to somebody else. I'm not interested. I'd rather pay somebody to do it than deal with that. So as far as your question goes, I did have that lightning moment, and you guys will laugh, but it was 1997. It was February 1st specifically. And I went to see Star Wars Special Edition. And I have to say, I wasn't that excited about it, really. I mean, all the kids in class were talking about it, so I felt like I should go see it. And then we get there at like 2 p.m. It's completely sold out until 10:30. That's baffling to me because everyone has this movie on VHS at home, right? So you're thinking, okay. So I pleaded with my mom and I said, it's Saturday. Is there any way we can see this thing at 10:30? And I don't know. Somehow I got her to agree and my dad to agree. That still amazes me. And so we go there to the screening and everybody's like dressed up and they've got lightsabers. And at first, you're thinking like, oh my gosh, what a bunch of nerds, right? But that was only my initial thought. My second thought was more like, wow, there's this much passion for a 20-year-old movie. I mean, that's amazing. Like, somebody made this movie and it mattered that much to this many people that I couldn't get a ticket for 8 hours and that they're all dressed up. Yeah. And so then when the lights went down and they cheered every moment, like the main title, R2's first appearance or, whatever, seeing Chewbacca. And it kind of gave me goosebumps because I just thought, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to do something that like could connect with an audience like that. And we all know we're not going to get to Star Wars level. That's not it. But the lightning rod was that's amazing that you can make something that matters to other people like that. So that was kind of the impetus, I guess.
He keeps, and Jonathan keeps saying the lightning rod. I was just thinking he was going to say it was the lightsaber.
The lightsaber moment.
The lightsaber.
Yeah,
the lightsaber moment.
That's good.
Wait, and Chris, you know I'm prepared, right? I'm prepared. I'm just gonna reach over here.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so for those listening, Nick is reaching over. He's revealing something to the camera as we speak.
That's right.
It's a slow reveal, and here it is. It is a Lego-based lightsaber in bonsai green.
Wow. Lego light. That's cool. Wow. I don't think I knew that.
He's stroking it.
That's right. And here's the thing: you don't know it existed as I move it through my hands. You don't know that it existed because this is of my own creation, my friend. There is no set. You cannot get this anywhere else. But
that is here. Cool.
That's right.
I love it.
That's right. So Nick is a Lego master builder, by the way. If you didn't know,
that is
the audience cool. And for you, Jonathan. So all of these things behind him, I just want to take a second to brag on Nick again, as I have many times on this podcast. All those behind him are all Legos. Every one of these squares, these aren't sets. He just did them. So these were kits. He just grabbed a 12 by 12 Lego board and then created this world of a background and a backdrop that he has. It's definitely one of a kind. Speaking of that feeling, by the way, Jonathan, it's super cool. I was at the Nashville Film Festival this past week, and there was a documentary called Opryland USA, A Circle Broken. And I'm telling you guys, I have never, ever been in a documentary screening with an audience that engaged. And it was that Star Wars moment you had. Like, it was like people were screaming at the screen, booing people on the screen, clapping. It was so visceral. And the reason why is because Opryland was a theme park that meant a lot to Nashvillians before Nashville became the Nashville it is today. And, you know, like, and for those that don't know, I'm sitting here in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, and it basically was torn down and replaced by a mall, literally like the song says, right? Like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Who sang that, PB?
I give up.
Well, it's from your generation. It's like, oh no, seen it go, but you don't know what you got till it's gone. Tear down.
That's not
Paradise.
his generation.
Tear down Paradise to put up a parking lot.
Put up a parking lot.
Yeah, it is his generation. It's been remade 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I know the song. I just
so anyway, they literally tore down Paradise to put up a parking lot, a giant parking lot in a mall. It's kind of ridiculous. So if you haven't seen it or heard of it, check out Opryland USA: A Circle Broken. Came out this year, 2025. I don't even know if you can watch it right now, but totally relate to that moment you just described. Last thing, let's end the segment on this. What's a piece of advice you live by?
A piece of advice I live by, I guess, honestly, it would probably be something like, to thine own self be true. You want to put it a little bit less nicely than be like, don't take from anybody. I just kind of really believe that there's always going to be people out there who don't like you, don't like what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, that's just the nature of it. So you have to really be yourself, I guess, and not in a corny way, but as in present the version of yourself that's most you, not the one that you think that most people will be most amenable to. It's not really your job to censor yourself for them. They can deal with it.
Yeah, and I noticed that was the theme of the film, the comic shop. Each person should follow their own unique path. It was repeated, in the film, and I think that aligns perfectly with your own thinking. Nick, can we do some audience polls, please?
Well, let's do it. I enjoy the audience polls because I enjoy hearing from them. Oh, hearing from our people. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Shout out to the subscribers. Say. By the way,
exactly.
For those on YouTube, subscribe, like, share. Those on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, iHeart, all those places listening, 5-star review, please. And follow the show as well. And find us over here at YouTube.
That's right.
And when you get here, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, Nick.
Look at that. Subscribe. That's a thing that you should do. All right, so this one is interesting. I like this poll. So, how do you usually discover new indie films? All right, and the options are film festivals, social media buzz, streaming services, and YouTube critics. Okay, so I guess normally we go in the order of highest to lowest. I'm just going to go in order of the options. Okay. So film festivals, 12%. It's interesting. It's kind of low considering that's where I know I see a lot of indie films.
Yep. Same.
All right. The next one, which is a little bit higher, social media buzz at 14%, but still low. Okay. Now we're actually going to hit streaming services, 4%. And that's no shocker, right? Because we know they're not promoting indie films as much as they are some of these blockbusters, right?
Yeah.
So where do we go next? We go to YouTube critics at 70%.
70?
70.
Wow.
70%. Now here it's interesting, right? Because they say YouTube critics. And I wonder if that's really true, Chris, or if it's more about YouTube, right? Just in general, if they really looked at it and said, well, I hear about these films on YouTube, and here's why. And Jonathan, you can jump in on this as well. I don't know a lot of critics who critique indie films. So I feel like the audience was more drawn to, well, I'll find them on YouTube through channels they currently watch, right? And then people will mention them through those channels. But it was interesting. We're looking at a poll. How do you usually discover new indie films? 70%, 70, said YouTube critics. Wow.
And I think the other thing could be that they're also discovering indie films alongside of the discovery of the new studio films and theatrical releases that are coming out, right? So you have someone who has a review show, and those are a dime a dozen on YouTube, right? And they're reviewing one battle after another with, the new PTA film that comes out this weekend. Right. And the next film they review after that happens to be an indie film. And then they discovered it in the watching of the stuff that actually drew them to the channel. Right. So it could be a combination of both.
That's actually really cool. Jonathan, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it is so interesting to me because I often realize like how bubbled I am in some ways. Like the way I hear about things is usually industry sources like Deadline, Variety. I probably follow a lot of kind of off the beaten path social media sources that might be mentioning something, something like A Strange Darling. My friends, they would not, to this day, they wouldn't have heard of that. They have no idea what that is. But for me, I was really excited because I knew a bunch of people that in my web who were talking about it and were like, oh, this movie's like one of the best small movies of the year. And so like, my wife and I couldn't wait to go see it in theaters. But, there's 8 people in the theater. So obviously I can figure out that I'm not most audiences,
We should. It's a good point, and we should rerun this poll in November, Nick, please, because I think that this is the season where indie films get talked about around award season.
Yeah, it could be. And here's something that you mentioned, Chris, that I actually didn't think of, that I think is actually a really good marketing ploy. And I don't even know if Jonathan thought about this. I mean, this is something that we might need to take advantage of, which is you actually have a lot of notable filmmakers. Right. So they're of note because of a movie or a TV series that they've been in, or even a commercial. And then they do an independent film because they want to be grounded. Right. Or they have relationships with the filmmakers and they want to support them. Right. And it's hard to promote those independent films because they're indie. However, coupling the promotion of the popular thing with the indie thing might be the way to go. Yeah. Right? An independent filmmaker will always promote their thing. Maybe they shouldn't be promoting just their thing. Maybe they should actually be promoting the thing that their star was in first. And then when you swipe to that next page, indie film pops up. Yeah, couple. Hey, man, I think we always talk about coupling and uncoupling. I think we just found
and coupling,
that's right. We bundling just found and unbundling. Bundling and unbundling. Yeah. I think we just found a new way to bundle. So, Jonathan, if you didn't think about that before, I think bundling might be one of the best marketing ploys ever.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, we were certainly hoping that all the rumors about John Tucker Must Die too. We were obviously really hoping that was something that went ahead because that could only help our project. At least
that's right.
Collateral damage or whatever.
Well, we do that with directors, right? Like if you follow the playbook on how to build up a director right before they do their first feature, it's by putting together a bunch of content around their journey as a director. And so what you do is you try to get the audience to buy into their vision as a human being and as a creative. And then when they finally announce their project, those people that have been following you all along, hopefully 8 to 12 months in advance, they now feel like they're a part of it. Like they contributed to that creative's ability to make the thing they're about to make. And you just have to have a lot of faith in the process. I shared a marketing plan like that recently with a director that me and Nick have worked with before, and it terrified him, right? Like he was like, that means I'll actually be getting attention, and I don't know if I want that. And that's an interesting thing because I think it's really honest. It's like I do want to make stuff, and I do want to make great stuff, and I do want to make money, but I don't want anybody to know about it.
Or about them, right? Right? That's the thing. Right. Like, know about the project, but don't care about me.
Hey, there's a reason we're behind the camera.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly. So I totally get it. Again, so much of just being out front is a lot of courage, and there's a lot of peril that comes along with it. So anybody that's doing it on a regular basis, they're always going to get love from me, and I know Nick and Papa Bear feel the same. All right, so great audience poll. Thank you guys for voting on it, keeping us honest. And honestly, I've always said like audience polls on our platform is like studio data, right? Like you can go through our platform, look at our community post, and actually see what the audience really wants to see, how they really feel about things. So visit the Make It podcast on YouTube, go to the community tab, and then check out those posts if you're making something and you want to see what the temperature is in the zeitgeist. With that being said, Nick, can we please pay some bills?
Cha-ching, my friend.
All right, Papa Bear, get your checkbook out. Let's get to writing.
All right.
We'll be right back. Let's pay some bills. Hey everybody, Chris here, and today's episode is brought to you by Insta360, the trailblazing camera brand renowned for its innovative 360 in action cameras. Their brand new pocket-sized marvel, the Go Ultra, just dropped this week, and it's set to revolutionize the way creators capture on-the-go moments. Compact like an Oreo and weighing just 53 grams, this little powerhouse is not just designed to fit in your pocket, it's crafted to deliver stunning, super smooth 4K footage at 60 frames per second. With its ingenious built-in magnet mounting system, effortlessly, you clip the Go Ultra on your clothing or hat for immersive POV shots while running, cycling, or enjoying precious moments with your friends and family, or just creeping on that old girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. Not that part. Don't do that part. That's not good. Plus, attach it to any magnetic surface, from street signs to bike frames, to seize unique angles in a flash. Thanks to its upgraded 1/1.28 sensor, the camera captures breathtaking images day and night. And don't worry about the elements. The standalone camera boasts an IPX8 waterproof rating, allowing you, and this is amazing, to dive up to 33 feet deep with this little camera. The cutting-edge stacked polymer battery promises a long-lasting performance and rapid charging, offering 70 minutes of runtime on its own and up to 200 minutes with the action pod. So this is like a separate accessory. You put it in there. It's kind of cool. It makes it feel like a click and shoot. And that action pod will give you 200 minutes of shooting. Need a quick boost? A mere 12 minutes charge gets you from 0 to 80%. So this is a fast charging camera. So in 12 minutes, you can go from 0% to 80% and back to shooting. So it's perfect for doing these shoots where it might be, a longer shoot, your battery dies. Hey, you're up, back and running again in just 12, 15 minutes. Go grab yourself a cup of coffee and you're good to go. Use the action pod to remotely control your camera. So this is that accessory I was talking about a minute ago, that action pod that the camera sits in. You can use it as a remote control, so you can post this camera up somewhere else and start filming remotely. It unlocks endless creative possibilities, right? Check this out. Did you lose your camera? It's tiny. It's the size of an Oreo. No problem. You can track it using Apple's Find My. That's pretty cool. And here's a special treat for all of our esteemed viewers and listeners. With your purchase of the Insta360 Go Ultra, you can snag a free set of sticky tabs, perfect for mounting your camera to everything from winter jackets to backpacks. Here's what you need to do. Visit Insta360.com and enter the promo code MAKEIT, M-A-K-E-I-T, make it, and that is good for the first 30 purchases only. All right, so visit Insta360, get your free set of sticky tabs by entering the promo code MAKEIT at checkout for the first 30 purchases only. At this point, everybody knows that podcasting isn't just talking into a mic. No, Make It is actually a small business. So we know firsthand that you wear a million hats and still show up for your team. Why not let our sponsor today, Gusto, help take some of that load off, especially when it comes to payroll, benefits, compliance, all those things that drive you crazy and weigh you down as a business owner, okay? Gusto is online payroll and benefits software built for small businesses. It's all-in-one, remote-friendly, and incredibly easy to use, so you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. It's quick and simple to switch to Gusto. Just transfer your existing data and get up and running fast. Plus, you don't pay a cent until you run your first payroll. How great is that? Gusto is the #1 payroll software according to G2 for fall 2025 and is trusted by over 400,000 businesses. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/make-it and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. It's a pretty good deal. That's 3 months free of payroll at gusto.com/make-it. One more time, gusto.com/make-it. And now, back to the show. And we're back. And that means it is time for some filmmaker Q&A. For everyone that's hung with us, watching this right now, film lovers, filmmakers, this is the segment for you where we dig in deep on Jonathan's filmmaking journey and tactics and techniques. Nick, take it away.
Ooh, tactics and techniques. I like the alliteration there.
TNT.
That's right, TNT.
Boom.
So, all right. So we're talking. I want to make sure everybody knows we're talking about the comic shop. Okay, we want to put that out there. That's the latest and greatest from Mr. Jonathan Bowen. So the comic shop, great film. I'm hoping people get to see it on all sorts of different platforms. If not now, sooner than later. But I watched it and I enjoyed it. And one of the things that I enjoyed most was actually the parallels between that film and not just Jonathan's life, but also the parallels between that film and its story and the filmmaker's journey. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about the parallels between the comic shop and the filmmaker's journey. So I'm going to start it with this first one. So the independent comic shop sells niche titles and local artists' work, while the franchise shop down the street dominates with what? Marvel, DC, these manga juggernauts, right? Foot traffic naturally favors the franchise.
Naturally.
In filmmaking, independent filmmakers create personal, original stories while studios dominate the box office and streaming platforms with massive marketing budgets and global franchises.
IP.
True, right? IP. So my question is, how can you make your story feel as must-see as a studio release without having the same marketing machine?
Well, honestly, I would argue that you can't, and that's okay, because you need to define your audience and your niche that you want to target. Because if you look at the way studios do things, it's always that we can't compete with them. That's not really always true. They can't compete with us in a lot of ways, because think about it. If you make a very controversial film that you know that there's an audience for, they're not making that. They're not touching it. It wouldn't play worldwide. A lot of those controversies wouldn't even work in a different country. They wouldn't care. And then they're thinking about this thing, and it's like they're putting the reputation out there. What I would caution, what I have learned, especially I learned this lesson on the first film, don't try to make a studio movie on a smaller budget. You're trying to play their game and beat them at their game. They're the best at it. Don't do that. Play your own game that they're not willing to play with you. Do something that they cannot do or would not do. They wouldn't touch it. That's the only way you can win, because then you have your audience that is like, look, I don't want to see Air Bud Returns. By the way, that was announced. I'm not joking about that. What is going on here? And
it doesn't have thumbs.
Right? People want to see something that's like, that's really targeted at them, because I think especially in today's world, right? It's easy to feel left out if you're not like other people in one way or another. It doesn't matter. Pick some field like that, and you feel like, oh my gosh, no one is speaking to this. Well, you as an indie filmmaker, we need your movie out there. I mean, we don't necessarily need Air Bud 5 or Saw 18, but your movie might have something really interesting to say. And so what if your audience is only potentially 5 million people? That's still a lot of people. And that's 100%. Barely above 1% of the United States. But it's 5 million, And I think most indie movies would be pretty happy if that was their audience. So try to find like, who is this movie for, and be honest with yourself. Because indie filmmakers love to say, "Oh, it's for everyone. Anyone who likes movies would like my movie."
We hate that line. It's our least favorite line.
I don't know about that. Like, nothing is for everyone, and that's
if it's
okay.
for everyone,
like,
it's for no one.
Then it's for no one. Exactly. And we already know the studios do that. They're like, "Oh, put some romance. You got to draw the ladies there. How are we going to get date crowds? Got to put a romance story." And then, could we film some of it in China? Maybe, like, would that be? We should do that. Act 3 is in China now. The whole thing is technically pieced together because, and I'm not trying to judge. They have to. When they spend that kind of money, they're the ones who are constrained. So it's like, oh no, they can do anything they want because they have 200 million. No, they can't. They have to do very specific things because they're spending 200 million. You can do anything you want if you're not spending that kind of money because you don't have to care. Like, if you made a movie cheap enough, who cares? No one saw it. Oh, well. But if nobody sees the next Avengers, well, there goes 200 million on the movie, 300 million, 200 million in marketing. We can't afford that kind of risk.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Frederick, who kind of mirrored those same feelings. He was a marketer his whole life for some of the biggest films in Hollywood history over the last 30 years. And the stress is through the roof.
Yeah, that's a great response, man. I definitely appreciate that one. That was awesome. All right, we're going to go on to the second one. All right, so let's talk about the comic shop parallel, right? Back to the comic shop. So the indie shop owner often barely breaks even. We saw this in the film, struggling, right? Choosing passion for comics over financial certainty in some regards. In the filmmaking space, independent filmmakers frequently work multiple jobs to fund their art, trading financial stability for creative fulfillment. So my question is, how do you balance financial sustainability with staying true to your creative vision?
Yeah, I think that is a really hard one. I wish I had a perfect answer. All I know is that you have to find some way to carve out time when you can. It's almost like make a date with yourself, whether it's something stupid like 3 hours on a Saturday or something, because if you don't basically make that appointment, the weeks will pass. I had it happen to me. And I'm doing corporate work. I'm spending all day long, setting up shoots, writing checks, doing bookkeeping, just boring stuff. And even if you do own the company, it doesn't matter. It's still just as boring as it would be if you worked for somebody else. And so then, of course, what did I want to do at the end of the day? I just want to watch a movie or play some video games or just relax a bit, spend some time with my girlfriend, now my wife. I realized after a while, it's like, I got to make the tough decisions sometimes and not choose the fun thing, but actually do the work. And it doesn't have to be a ton. Like, when you really think about it, even look at a novel. You read a page a day, you'd have a book in a year. Just one page. That's not much. And a screenplay is only 100 pages long. So, so that's what I would say is, like, don't let the fire die, because you'll find that it has effects, like the effects that it has on Mike. I put that in, personally speaking, because I noticed it happening to me where I just kind of felt listless and I didn't know when I would get another chance. So, let's go to the brewery and get a few drinks. And, pretty soon you might have had a couple too many. I realized that I was doing that because I didn't feel a sense of control, and that I just like, what's the point? I might as well just have drinks. I can't go make another movie. But that wasn't the right attitude. The right attitude is always to, put in the work and know that, like, tomorrow will come, but you can always do something to make tomorrow better, even if it's just writing. Like, that is giving yourself a chance still, at the least, and keeping those creative muscles going.
I love that, like giving yourself grace, and giving yourself space to be creative, as opposed to getting bogged down in what isn't. Like you're saying, is focus on what could be.
Right. Yeah, awesome. And apologies to interject here, Nate, but it just reminded me of Priscilla Wise. Shout out to Priscilla Wise, writer, producer, and the Wise method. Write 5 minutes a day. Just start there.
Right.
And see if you can build on it. But if you even never build on it, you wrote 5 minutes a day, and at some point, it's like you said, Jonathan, it'll equal a screenplay. or a novel or whatever it is you're trying to continue, please.
Honestly, sorry, I was just gonna say I absolutely swear by free writes. Like, and make it like your grade school teachers might have said this, but you can literally write in the free write, I have nothing to say today. This is stupid. I just told myself I would do it, and I can't think of anything. And trust me, as you keep on doing this, somehow something will click, and you'll be like, I mean, wait a minute, that could be an interesting, and you'll start to find that you will get little strands of ideas. The other thing is that the daily writing is so important because your brain works in the background. So to give you an idea of like half my year, I go swim basically about half the year in Vegas. And when I say swim, I usually float in the pool. I just like to be in the pool. That's my thinking time. Because if I did the work time last night, when I'm in the pool, my brain has had all of that time to be piecing together puzzles I couldn't solve. And so when I get out of the pool, I'm now ready to go commit those things to paper. And it's like this virtuous cycle of if you're always in front of the computer saying it's work time, it's hard to get the work done a lot of the times. A lot of the good thinking happens away from the computer, and then you go to the computer to put those ideas down.
Yeah. It's like taking a shower. Everybody knows you have your best ideas in the shower. Bro, come on, man. Best ideas are in the shower, and you're stuck. And it's crazy because you're stuck, right? You're like, man, I got to write this down. What do I write it on? So, yeah, I'm totally with you.
You keep a pen in the shower, Nick?
Awesome. Yeah. I got to tell you. Why I got to tell you about my business? You know what I'm saying? Why I got to tell you?
Keep a Sharpie in there. You write it on the tile on the wall.
I do it in the glass.
Actually, Papa Bear, not a bad idea.
He retiles every year.
Because if you use the non-permanent marker, you got the water right there. Just spray it right there and start over.
Spray it off. That's right. Yep. No,
everybody has a whiteboard. Everybody has one. It's in your shower.
No, the whiteboard exists on your mirror.
On your mirror.
That's the thing.
Or on the glass of your shower.
Yeah, we use the mirror.
If you have a glass enclosure.
Maybe he's got a mirror in his shower.
Or a mirror in your shower so you can watch yourself bathe. I don't know why you would have that, Papa Bear. Again, Papa Bear oversharing his situation.
Right. He's an oversharer.
I get my best ideas on long walks. So
me too.
That's where I have my
good time. I like it. I appreciate it. All right. So the next one. All right. So this is about building a loyal base. And this is really cool because the comic shop, right? The indie shop thrives when it becomes more than a store, when it feels like a community hub where fans belong. Independent filmmakers can build loyal fan bases when they create more than films. They create conversations, connections, and belonging. So my question to you, Jonathan, is beyond the screen, how are you working to cultivate a sense of belonging for your audience?
Oh, that's brutal. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think I'm really that good at that. And I think part of it is because my ideas and interests are kind of all over the board. And I don't really want to make like one type of movie. I do have I have a stealth Instagram account I will not reveal that I'm building an audience for a future movie. And it won't be the next one. It might not be the one after. But the idea is to build a sense of community there because and not just of like having your built-in base when you actually make the movie, but because these are the exact people who will like the movie. And I've really enjoyed sharing in that community of like-minded people, at least with this specific thing. We might actually not have as much in common on other things, but that's why I keep the Instagram very focused to that specific thing. So I do think you're right. I think that if you're going to be an indie filmmaker building an audience, which is really powerful, then you want to be able to engage them in ways that you think like if these are like-minded people. But I don't think that in today's society, like I just don't think it's a good idea to be posting like, let's say, really controversial things, because you're going to find that a lot of people agree with you on one thing, and then some of them don't on something else. And people, I'm telling you, I just had it happen twice last week. They're quick to delete you if they disagree on one thing. So I would say by engaging, like bring them into your life as a human being more. Like people enjoy seeing those things, like you going and doing something fun, you taking a trip. It doesn't have to be all filmmaking. It can be letting people into your life. And then, when it comes down to it, sharing your process and things like that, keeping it positive. Because I think so much social media has become fairly negative, and it's built to divide slightly,
Okay. Yeah, I like that. But I love the idea. And one of the things I really love about it is that you're taking one part of yourself and putting that on social, right? Because that part of yourself is geared towards the next thing you're making. And I think that's okay, right? I think that's still authentic in that space. You don't need to bring all the other pieces of you along for the ride. And it's funny because, and I'm going to have to do this, but I was having the conversation with my wife about, Chris, we talk about these voices that I do from time to time.
Yeah, you do voices.
And
this is true.
Yeah, but it's just, it's crazy. Anyway, so I was telling her, I was like, it's just weird how, like, there's this one voice that I do that I think that Chris loves, but when I get into it, I just get into it.
Yeah.
And I realized, and this is the first time I just talked to her, I said, I don't understand why it comes so naturally to me. And what you start to realize is that these little avenues that you go into are just different personas. And that's why it feels natural. And it's okay to just dive into that persona and let it flow, because just that niche part of you can reach a whole other audience. They don't need to have all the other stuff, but if they enjoy that piece, why not? Why not let that thread live in its own space? So I actually do love the idea of you taking that separate part. It doesn't have to be everything and all of you, just that part. And if that attracts people to what you're doing, it's perfect.
It's been fun, actually. Like, I've been able to grow the following. Like, I guess I had 0 at the end of June. I only got 5 like-minded friends, including my wife, to be original followers. And I think I'm at 133 now, which sounds small, but it's also like, that's the hardest, is right when you start. And it was 100 like 2 weeks ago. So it does tend to grow. And it's something where it's like, I knew when I started it, I didn't need immediate gratification. Like, I was like, this is a years-long project. Like, I probably won't make this movie for 4 years. So let's say that I only have 5,000 people 4 years from now. And that's still my initial grassroots group. It's not nothing, And us indie filmmakers, we've got to be thinking ahead.
Yeah, and it's 5X the Kevin Kelly line, right? The Kevin Kelly, founder of Wired Magazine, I believe. Like, he has a great essay called 1,000 True Fans. And he posits that in the future, in the attention economy, where even a real estate agent needs to also be a content creator or whatever, you need 1,000 true fans. And if you have 1,000 people that will buy your stuff or support you at any given time for the things you create, you can have a very good life. And he, in the essay, I encourage everybody to look up 1,000 True Fans by Kevin Kelly. In the essay, it breaks down the math. Like, you'll be a 6-figure person if 1,000 people buy everything you sell and create. And he defines a true fan. A true fan is someone who finds out you're releasing something and immediately goes and buys it. They don't need to be convinced, right? Yeah. So just think of anybody you're a fan of, and the fact that you'll just go and get it because they made it. That's what it takes to be a fan. And so if you're trying to me, that's what you're trying to do, Nick and Jonathan, is like, can you get people to follow you for all the right reasons and then become truly invested in the stuff that you're creating, which requires some emotional investment on their part, right? But they're emotionally tied in to it for one reason or another. So, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I mean, even for, bigger directors, there's times where, like, so I was a big fan of The Game with Michael Douglas. I think 96, 97, I think.
Delightful film.
Yeah, and so I got to be honest, when the first trailers came out for Fight Club, I thought it looked terrible. I mean, this was not good marketing. and then I saw, it's directed by David Fincher. And I thought, well, I know that I hate the trailer, but The Game was one of my favorite movies then. So it was like, I owe it to him to go see this movie and not just judge it based on the trailer. And then Fight Club is actually one of my favorite movies ever.
Yep.
And it's still a famous case of Fox didn't know what to do with the marketing on that movie. Like, and I don't blame them, because how do you do that? You're going to spoil the movie if you give away too much. But if you don't give away too much, it doesn't make any sense. So they were kind of screwed either way. But that's a good example of where, like, I look at certain directors, and much smaller directors, by the way, too, that wouldn't be household names, and I get excited by what they're doing next. Well, let's say Weapons, right? It's like, okay,
I was just going to say
I
Weapons. I was literally about to say Weapons, for example. That's crazy.
Exactly. Like, yeah, and you think of those kind of things, and it's like, that matters to me as a film fan. At least for me, that's a big deal. Is to be like, oh, right, okay, that's the director of this, and like Saltburn. I can't wait to see what she does next. I mean, that's a messed up movie, but I saw it like 3 times. I really loved it. You know?
Truly messed up.
So, you're right.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, Saltburn is such a cynical movie as well. But
it is.
And I'm forgetting the name of the director, and I should not be forgetting it. She's done.
Is it Emerald Fennell? I think.
Yeah. Yes, Emerald Fennell. Thank you. That she did the movie before that was also pretty cynical about
really messed up.
Really messed up as well, but also brilliant. Right. So she continues to do really brilliant things that are polarizing, but really exciting to watch. And with Weapons, even the studio didn't think they would do as well as they did, because the trailer was nothing, because they couldn't give anything away. If you give away, but you're not going to learn anything about the movie. I thought it was genius the way they did it. I'm saying, but if you're the type of viewer that has to know what the movie's about before you go watch it, and sadly, just a lot of those people out there, Weapons is going to be challenging for you. But I would say go to the movie, because it's great.
Yeah, I know. Aren't movies so weird like that? Because it's like, if with something else, like a razor, right? It's like, here's a razor. This is what it looks like. It has 3 settings. It has 5 blades. Mm-hmm. We all know what a razor does, and here's the price. And then you go, okay, sounds like a fair deal. With a movie, you're like, ooh, it's this mystery box. Like, you have to pay the money, and then you get to see it. But it might be horrible. It's kind
that's
of
why you bet on the director, right? You bet on the actor, you bet on the thing, you bet on the studio,
the producers, you bet on everything. But I'll also say this, just to follow along with that, like, you get 5 blades on your razor and find out that your single edge razor still gives you the best shave. That's the indie film of razors.
That's right.
It does.
Single blade.
That's right.
You keep adding all these blades. Why do I need all these blades?
Yeah, come on, man.
I know. What like, do we need like 19 blades?
So you can charge me $29.99 for it? Yeah.
I imagine that there's a world where we just did like one big blade, and then you barely move it. You put it there, and you go, and it's just all gone.
It just,
like, that's it.
You just move down an inch, and your whole beard's gone.
Yeah, the whole thing's gone.
That's where we're headed. In 2050 PB, there'll be a razor by Gillette that'll have 30 blades. 30 blades. You just put it right on your face, and you move down an inch, and your whole face is gone.
No, you don't even move it. You don't even move it. Just leave it on your face.
You got to justify that price increase,
Yeah, exactly. We're only
all right, guys.
$1 per blade.
You got one more? I got last one. One more.
Let's do it.
All right. So this is going to be about legacy and local impact, which I know is very important to all of us here. So on the comic shop side, the franchise shop may dominate sales, but the independent shop has the power to shape the local culture, fostering young artists, curating voices, and inspiring future fans. The filmmaker parallel of that is that independent filmmakers may not always reach global charts, but they can spark movements, shift perspectives, and change lives in their communities. So my question is, what impact do you, Jonathan, want your films to have on your local community beyond just entertainment?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, so if it's okay, I see local community as us as indie filmmakers, but also my city as far as Vegas goes.
Yep.
And I know this sounds funny. Even my wife kind of like thinks this is weird, but I kind of want to be a Vegas filmmaker. Like I sort of already was thinking that before Comic Shop, but I want that to be part of my persona, is that my movies are set in Vegas. And because it's kind of unique, and they're not The Hangover though. Like with Comic Shop, I want to show that most of us, like locals, we don't go to the Strip very much. I mean, I'll go for a Golden Knights game, I'll go for a show, but we're not like hanging out and living on the Strip. So I want to kind of show like the real world that's beyond the tourist corridor. And then I really hoped that if I did have a goal with the Comic Shop, I wanted people to see it and realize, especially at a key age range, I don't want to limit it, but call it 35 to like 55, that, you know, you're not too old to switch gears and pursue what you really want to do. You know, that quote where it's, you're never too old to become what you might have been. I'm probably butchered it, but it's something like that. And that's what I wanted people to see. So one of the people who had me on a podcast twice, he was making a career transition, like as he saw the Comic Shop. And he said that it meant something to him. Like he could feel that and it was inspirational. That's what really makes me happy. Like I want somebody out there. Most people are just, it's entertainment. They watch it. They like it. Okay, that's fine. They move on. But there's those people who are at the exact right minute to see a movie like this and remember that, you know, I did have other dreams and I should chase those dreams. That doesn't mean throw away your good job and your income. I'm not saying that. Right. I'm saying don't give up on ideas and passions that are important to you, because that's what keeps you really alive.
I love that, man.
Beautiful.
That's perfect. And I love the fact that it's both of those communities. It's your local physical community in Vegas, but also it speaks to, I'd say there's three communities, but it speaks to the second one, which is the independent filmmaker, and just, you know, making things that they're impassioned about, that they want to make for themselves, but also that broader community of people who have always had some sort of passion other than their day job. And you're telling them, hey, it's never too late. Get after it. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially in today's world. And, you know, if somebody was the comic artist thing, so interesting. Like you can see behind me, there's a couple covers of Technoman. Well, that was so interesting. So the guy I hired to do the Technoman covers for the movie quit his job as an assistant manager at Walmart to pursue comic illustrating full time. Like just around the same time that I was hiring him, and he was also about Mike's age. And I had to joke with him. I said, man, you were the real life Mike we're making this movie after, you know?
We're making
and so it's really been like, you know, just like seeing his journey. And I know that there's tons of other people out there like that. And like I've always said, I'm not encouraging some extremist behavior. Like no one's saying, don't feed your family, quit your job and go, you know, do nature photography, because that's what you always wanted to do. All I'm saying is make room for it in your life, even if it's just a little bit, because you never know when your passion could turn into your career.
I love that.
Perfect.
Man. And just for the people listening, behind him are a few covers of the comic book that shows up in his film, The Comic Shop, back behind his head on the wall. And they're beautiful. They look great. And for those obviously watching it, you saw that, you know what's up. And I like the idea of you trying to be your own John Hughes, right? Like, you know, he did everything in Chicago. So you're going to do everything in Vegas and just make a name for yourself shooting stuff in Vegas. I think that works great, man. And
produce where you are.
Nick, thank you for another fantastic and enlightening filmmaker Q&A.
Mon plaisir.
Whatever he just said. Hey, Papa Bear, are you ready for some things we should know?
I am ready. One of the things we should know is the quote that Jonathan just made about never too old to become what you might have been was from novelist George Eliot.
Bang Biscuit. There it is. Oh, and by the way, came to me, Joni Mitchell sang the song.
Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that song.
Taking down Paradise to put up a parking lot. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joni Mitchell.
Did the Chainsmokers redo that?
A lot of people have redone it. A lot.
Probably
a lot.
Probably a lot. Yeah.
Because it continues to be true, Nick. Like we continue to do it. Like we continue to not learn the lesson of the song as a society. Yeah. Anyway.
Can we overlay it on this episode without
Welcome to
getting in
humans.
That's right. Thank you. Welcome to humans.
Let's find out. We'll find out. Yeah.
All right, PB.
All right. Well, Jonathan, you've seen a lot of movies.
Yes.
And you've been
2 a
doing a lot
day.
of talk.
He watches 2 a day.
2 a day since he was a teen. And I think he even once said something to the effect that when you became a movie maker, a filmmaker, you wanted to know what came before you.
Yes.
Yeah, so you watched even old classics all the way back to the 1880s.
Yeah, your first 30-second or 60-second movies.
Yeah. So there have been a lot, and you're all about Las Vegas, and so your film, The Comic Shop, was shot entirely in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So my question is, what was the first movie to be shot entirely in Las Vegas?
Wow.
So you jump right away to Leaving
really
Las
good.
Vegas with Nicolas Cage, but that couldn't even be close to the first.
It's got to be earlier. Could it be something? Could it be something like Sinatra based, or I don't know what.
Could be.
I think he's been to Vegas.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, what would have been the first? There wasn't a lot here in the 50s. I mean, but I think it was probably back. I bet it was probably back in the day.
First, is it okay?
Any guesses what the film
Papa
is?
Bear, what is?
I don't know.
Papa Bear, what is is it a feature film? Is it a short film? Is it a documentary? Can you say that without giving too much away?
Sure. I mean, it's a feature film.
Okay, it's a feature. That narrows it down. Love it.
It's a Charlie Chaplin film.
Ooh.
Shot entirely
in Vegas. Charlie Chaplin was out there doing his thing. And I don't know the name of it, but
Las Vegas.
What year did the strip get started?
The 30s?
When was Charlie Chaplin?
Did the strip get started? Or sooner? No, sooner than that. Was it
20s.
20s? Yeah.
30s.
The booming 20s, Jonathan?
Because,
So
we have no clue. No, we have no guesses. This is so off the wall, bro.
Nick is calling us out because we're trying to intellectualize this and like we're scratching our brain. We're like, perhaps, and
that's right.
The literature. Back when I was in school said,
right in the 30s.
Was it the 30s?
When was it, PB? What is this movie?
Could it have been 1914? Like every answer is.
Wait, Chris. What is this?
This is how people would move their chest when they talked in 1914.
1914.
1914.
All right, PB. What is the answer to this question? I have no clue.
Inqu bugs.
Right.
Because nobody used their names. It was always P.T. Barnum.
Do people still care?
W.W. Shields.
According
PB.
to the available records, the 1955 film Las Vegas Shakedown is the earliest movie shot entirely in Las Vegas, primarily at the El Rancho Vegas Hotel.
Wow, this did not go back as far as we imagined.
Okay.
Have you seen that one, Jonathan?
I haven't. I figured it was probably in the 50s, but
he did. Now I'll give Jonathan credit. He did say the 50s, Nick.
Did he really? I mean,
he kind of said Sinatra was around the 50s. I feel like he kind of said it. Who's in Papa Bear?
Wait. Who's starring it? Who's starring in it?
Why are we watching
Frank Sinatra?
Get out of my head.
I'm be so mad. Go ahead.
Since Jonathan's a director, I'll first start with the director. Was Sidney Salkow, Salkow.
Spell it again, Papa Bear, so I can write it down.
Sidney, Sidney, Salkow, Salkow, from an original screenplay by Steve Fisher. The film stars Dennis O'Keefe,
Oh, wow.
Colleen Gray, and Charles Winninger. And it was released on May 15th, 1955. And shot mainly at that El Rancho Hotel. Was a casino at the north end of the Las Vegas Strip.
Wow.
It opened in 1941 as the first resort on the Strip, known then as Highway 91. It was located at what is now the southwest corner of Las Vegas Boulevard
still
and
there?
Sahara Avenue. Well,
The El Rancho Hotel is still there. Oh, there it is. So Papa Bear is revealing
There it
this
is,
episode's
yeah.
Easter egg. Behind him is a painting of the El Rancho Hotel.
Chris.
Wow.
The PB just fell out of his chair. I was like, go, PB. He just, whoa.
We got to keep PB. We got to keep PB protected. Keep PB
passed
protected.
out.
Yeah, I was concerned for a second, man. I was like, man.
Just fade off the screen.
Right.
You gotta warn us. You gotta warn us next time.
Quite
PB.
a reveal.
It was quite the reveal. I was concerned. I had to put an APB on my Thug Family for a second, you know?
Good reveal.
Listen,
I did have to touch this up because right on that white column that sticks up,
okay, he's
it
moving.
said El Rancho Hotel. So
I was going to say I'm mad because the answer was right in front of us the whole time, which has happened to us numerous times now on this show, Nick.
Hey,
Yeah.
but
He
I
has
wouldn't
the
know.
answer
right?
right behind him.
1955 El Rancho Hotel. No.
Is this
That's
still
the thing
Jonathan?
that Jonathan
is this
should
hotel
know.
still there? Do you know?
no, it's been torn down.
Oh, it's been torn down.
yeah.
Okay, so does that mean
Yeah,
the
I think
strip
so.
It
came in
was
the
famous
40s?
though.
Then?
Very, very famous hotel.
Okay, so he knows about the hotel. So does that, Papa Bear? Before we wrap this, does that mean that the strip was made started in 41? Then with this hotel?
I don't know.
That you said it was the
I'm
first
not
one on
sure.
the strip?
Well, it's the first casino hotel on the Strip.
Okay. We'll have to research that and then put that.
That's why I was saying Charlie Chaplin might have been a little too early.
1941.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first one. It was built in 1941, and so Charlie Chaplin, I think, was before that.
Yeah, he was. We had
he
sound and color by then. I think maybe not color, but definitely sound and movement. But Papa Bear, that is definitely a thing we should know.
Absolutely.
If your name is Jonathan Bowen.
Especially if your name is
nothing
Jonathan.
about that place.
If your name is Jonathan
Since you
L.
live
Bowen, you
in Las
need to know
Vegas.
this.
Day in and day out.
Yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, now I
That's
do.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
You got
Now
an
you do.
icebreaker for your next
That's
meeting.
right.
That's right.
Love it.
Today is the day he
Well,
became
and what
a
I do is
Las
I
Vegas
usually-
director, producer, writer.
Yeah. Usually when there's like at least significant movies that I haven't seen, I get kind of agitated, and then I'll go write it down, and I'll make a point of watching it like that night or the next day, because I'm like, no, gaps in knowledge get repaired.
I like that. I'm gonna write that, Jonathan. I'm gonna write that down. Gaps in knowledge
Get
get repaired.
No. Immediately. Okay? Just immediately.
I like that. I'm writing that down. Quote Jonathan. I'm gonna put that up on a sign like people put platitudes in their home.
That's right. There's
that's
no hesitation in his education.
There's no reservation.
In the allocation
Exactly.
of the information. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I love all that. I love all that.
right.
All that's good.
Hallelujah.
Forget all that agitation.
That's
and
right.
aggravation.
Wait. Before we go, I
Enjoy this alliteration.
That's right. I did the thing earlier, but I didn't give it to Jonathan.
Okay.
So I got to do it now, if you don't mind. All right.
Do it.
So Jonathan, I mentioned it earlier,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do it now because now the audience is kind of like, what are you talking about?
Wouldn't
You said
be
the thing
pretty.
earlier, but you didn't do it. So I'm going to do it because I mentioned it earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna be like,
Only Jonathan. Jonathan doesn't understand the rules to the game. He wants to play the game, but he won't play the game. We ask him to play the game to learn about Las Vegas. Okay? We teach him about Las Vegas. We tell him the thing we should know. And then he's like, information in my brain, and I have to take it because if there is a gap, I got to close the gap because, I got the AI chip. The AI chip is in my brain, and if I don't close the gap in the information, then all the information and the alliteration is going to cause me some consternation. And if it causes me consternation, then my wife is going to be upset. And if she's upset, then what are we going to do? I don't understand. So you know what? Forget it. Back to the show.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
Bro,
Man, you got to do voiceover.
honestly, I don't even know where I cut
already.
The problem is I hear that voice, I think of it as an old Jewish lady. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's how I hear it. But what he hears, what he said wife. That's not right.
No, I said his wife was the one who was
live in
look at the
different
information.
times, I mean,
That's
the exact. This is true. And honestly, Jonathan, I don't even know how that happens, bro. It's like a whole other thing, you know?
But we say that in love because we love you so much. So, in love and respect and adoration and admiration.
Okay, so let's move forward.
You know
Papa
what?
Bear, that is definitely a thing we should know. Jonathan Bowen, are you ready to clear the set?
sure, why not?
After that,
let's clear the set. Jonathan, what are your 3 favorite films? 3 top films.
Tie for the Star Wars movies. I'm putting that. That's really hard. I probably Blade Runner, and I'll throw in something like Gladiator. I know those are pretty mainstream, but
Okay.
I'm talking about what I like to watch the most often, not necessarily my film school, like, Citizen Kane and The Usual Suspects. I love those movies. But I do find that question to be tough, though, because it depends so much on mood. Like I choose what I want to watch a lot of times. So I'm like, I'm not feeling like seeing that kind of movie right now.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough. That's why we like asking it. Name the film you're embarrassed to admit you haven't seen.
If I could think of one, The Seventh Seal comes to mind. I'm going to say it wrong, but like Leggetti, honestly, those are on the list, and I know I got to see them. I haven't seen them. Those might be like 2 of them. I'm sure there's others, but I try to see things. I get somewhere I'm like, I got to get around to that, and I still haven't seen it.
He should be embarrassed because he hasn't seen Undercover Brother. So you need to handle up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, get it on your list. Make it a thing.
Brother.
Make it happen.
Everybody's seen Undercover Brother. Come on.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? I watched Undercover Brother yesterday.
Right, exactly. And that movie was made about me too. So just don't tell too many people. You know what I'm saying?
Undercover Brother, Black Dynamite. Name the film everyone loves that you hate.
Oh boy, I'm going to name one in honor of his new movie that just came out right now. I hate There Will Be Blood. I think it's terrible. I've seen it twice. I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I'm sorry, I just hate that movie. I tried. I watched it a second time. I was glued to the screen. All I saw is this long, boring, pointless thing where someone beats someone at the end of it, and I did laugh. I mean, as soon as it ends, I was laughing.
I've abandoned my boy.
I was just like, "That's it." All right. But I'll be honest, I'm not on the same wavelength as him. Like, I couldn't make it through Phantom Thread, and I pretty much vowed I'm not watching another PTA movie. I don't like it. Like, I don't. I think they're all boring.
So it's not a Daniel Day-Lewis thing; it's a PTA thing for you.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis. He's an amazing actor. But it's just, I couldn't. It's like, let's thread the needle for the next 20 minutes. And I'm like, this is a troll job. This has to be a troll job. Like, they're doing something intentionally boring so that the critics can go, well, you don't have the sophistication to understand. Yeah, I do. I majored in philosophy. I take an IQ test next to you, but I don't find it really fascinating to watch 20 minutes of a dress being sewn. Sorry. Nope.
All good.
These are
So we ask the question.
feelings. That's right.
What's your favorite cheat day meal?
Oh man. I probably would be boring and say pizza, but I would say like loaded with good stuff, like onions, green peppers, pepperoncinis, 4 or 5 meats, it's got to be like a real feast there.
Right, where that triangle's going to bend over. It's got so much stuff on it, you can't even hold it out erect.
Yeah.
Pause. It just falls right off. Like all the toppings fall off right onto your plate. You need a fork to finish it. It's got so much stuff on it, right?
There you go.
Oh, totally. And you eat it over another slice so that when it falls.
Yeah, but I'm just struggling. And Chris was like, "Man, it's just so much. You just can't hold it erect.
You can't hold it erect.
You can't.
It's too heavy. It's too much. It's too much.
You got to do the pizza sandwich.
Yeah, pizza whole pizza. Well, there's a
sandwich, bro.
I need to remember the name of the company, but there's a company I ordered deep dish pizzas from that you can order from Chicago, and they're like 12-inch or like pause, but But they're personal and they're delicious, man. You can just freeze them, put them in the oven. Terrible for you, but definitely a great cheat day meal. All right, so Jonathan.
But they're not limp.
No, they're okay.
Of the various ones he owned, his favorite was.
So
Editor Kate, please remove that.
You can
you don't need that.
Maybe you can bleep that. Nick believes that YouTube AI can figure out the difference between the name and
YouTube doesn't like it.
No, I don't think that's true.
Doesn't like
I think your theory is false. Okay, so anyway, moving on, Jonathan, you can drink from the Stanley Cup after another Golden Knights championship, or you can win an Oscar. Which one?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Stanley Cup. I don't care what the Oscars have to say.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Boom. I had a feeling.
You've just been blacklisted.
I mean, this is the same group of people who awarded Crash Best Picture. Like, that is the most ham-fisted. That it's terribly written. Like, it's literally like, let me come in and say, racism is bad. Maybe if we're all different, but what? Like, you could have some level of nuance, some level of storytelling. Like, that's just baffling.
It's one of those ones that does get questioned for movie of the year. But I will say,
I don't get it.
I was a young parent when I watched that. I watched it in the theater, and when the little girl ran out in front of that bullet, I cried. That doesn't make you movie of the year.
Look, I'm not saying
a lot of stuff.
I'm not saying it's the worst movie ever made. I'm just saying it's like, dude, it's supposed to be the best movie of the year. And it was like, I felt that it was emotionally manipulative in some ways, but not in a way that worked for me because I just named
the scene where it was emotionally manipulative. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And look, we all want to like, we all like awards and things like that. But I mean, honestly, some of my favorite movies were never considered for awards. It's hard for me to value that too much. Would it be really cool? Sure. You'd be lying if you said it wouldn't be. It's an industry of your peers, and they've decided the work. But if you know anything about Oscar campaigning, you know a little bit about how tough it is to win if you don't have a large financial backing and a studio pushing that movie.
Yeah. Well, last year was a great example of that with Oreo. 3 times the marketing as the film budget.
Listen, guys, the fact that Coming to America did not win an Oscar.
Yeah.
It's just, what are these?
Oh, movies? Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
What are we doing?
Come on, man.
I know.
What are we doing?
I won't say the whole quote, but you guys know it. Like, I was just quoting my wife that last night. So it was like, good morning. And then, that part, love that part. It's so funny.
Yes.
Like, that's fair. You're in America now. Welcome to America.
That's right. Yes.
I love that, man. All right. So last question as we clear the set, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
Would you rather die broke and creatively fulfilled or live rich with a song left unsung?
Oh, definitely die broke. Like, you can't, what are you going to do with the money when you're gone? I mean, like if it's all about my filmography. If you could, I don't have kids and I'm not going to. So
you're right.
For me, that may be
or anybody you care about. Anybody you care about.
He's like, it's my stuff, bro. Like, what?
Yeah, it's my stuff.
I can't take you with me.
You can't take your marbles with you, right?
Bruh.
That's what we always say. You can't take. I tell that to investors, Jonathan. I say you can't take your marbles with you. Do something great in the world.
No, It's true. I mean, I get that too, where it's like, oh, well, if you make another movie, I mean, what, you might just lose the money. I'm like, well, I might, but it's just money. I'd never lose the movie. Like that, you guys talked about this before, that when you have a movie, it can never be taken away from you. Like your name, like as director, is right there forever. There's very few things in the world like that. Like you can lose your job, you can lose your house, you can lose your car. But once you've finished a movie and put it out into the world, no one can ever take that away from you. That's pretty powerful.
That's exactly right. I love that answer. Jonathan, I've loved this conversation. I know I speak for Papa Bear and Nick when I say that. You've been incredibly generous with your time and forthright in all your answers. Can you tell the people where they can watch your films, see your work, find you and follow you on social media and all the things?
Yeah, so I do have a website at directorbowen.com. My last name is Bowen. And then I also keep it simple. I'm Director Bowen on Instagram as well. So as far as the comic shop goes, right now it's pretty much on all the free platforms. I would say, and I know everyone wants to watch it for free, but if you do happen to see it on Apple, it actually has a full surround mix. It is a lot better quality than what's on Tubi or Amazon. We did put a lot of money into a good music and surround mix. So just saying, don't judge what we did if you watch it on Tubi as far as the audio. Their audio isn't great. And the other little note, and I can't tell you for sure where it's coming, but I'm guessing all the usual suspects. My first feature film has not been in distribution since 2017, but my current distributor is bringing it back in November. So very soon that will be streamable.
That's Quiver, right?
It's Quiver. I was really happy they picked up the rights to my first movie, and that's actually how the second movie came about. Is I was trying to wrestle away some of the rights from the producers. I owned the movie, but not 100%, and so I had to get them to sign off. And then we got to talking about making another movie together. And we got so busy making the next movie that we forgot to get the first one back out there. So that's like kind of the culmination, is that now both my movies are finally going to be streaming again by the end of the year. So that's great.
Yeah, shout out to Quiver and congrats to you. You heard it, folks, here from the horse's mouth. Go do likewise. Follow him, watch his film, support his creative journey like we do with all indie filmmakers here. Support indie film. Put your money where your mouth is. And it's the interesting thing, Nick, I'll just mention about the sound. I've also found just doing QC for this pod on the audio side. PB, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the podcast sounds a few decibels louder and better on Spotify than Apple. And I have no idea why, but we just sound better on Spotify. And I got
something to drop on you, man. It's something that I've learned is that, so I'm sure everyone uses their Bluetooth in their car. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you use Apple Music in your car, you do not get the full level of audio control that you can get with Spotify. So if you use Spotify in your car to listen to music or even podcasts, you get full equalizer control of the audio with Spotify. So they do take sound a little more seriously. Yeah, and it's interesting where it's a completely different experience. It is, but for the layperson, they don't know the difference. But those who are really looking for that experience, Spotify does provide that.
Yeah, and just to be clear, on your Apple device, you can go in and change the EQ, but it only affects music and doesn't seem to be affecting podcasts. So that's a separate app that has a separate EQ that you can play with, but it doesn't affect podcasts for some reason. Whereas Spotify, podcasts and music are viewed equally. So when you mess with the equalizer on Spotify, if you do that, then it's going to affect pods or music. But here's the deal. I didn't mess with the equalizer on either. I just played them, and it just plays a little more louder, crisper on Spotify, whatever it is. So anyway, point is, that sound thing is real depending on where you watch a film or where you listen to a podcast or watch it, whatever. With that, Jonathan, I have to leave you. We'll have to leave you the way we end every podcast, which is, what does it mean to you to make it?
honestly, I'm going to have a funny answer on this that is different than a lot of people might say. To me, to make it is just to be able to make the work that I want to make. And it doesn't mean that Hollywood recognizes me or that people are throwing money at my next project. It means that I can truly go out, make a small budget indie film the way that I want to make it, and be happy and feel that I, as an artist, accomplished what I want to do. And it may sound funny, but that's my version of making it.
Hey, here. We like it.
It's beautiful. We love that answer.
And the thing we love about this segment, the Make It segment, is that there are no wrong answers as long as you answer honestly. And that's the goal, is just for you to give it to us the way it is. And we love that. So we appreciate you, brother. Those that are watching us on YouTube, you already know about our channel, but do you know about us on social media? Maybe not. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. You can find us at _MakeItPodcast. Go follow us there. Send us DMs. Any critiques you might have, any love you want to share. We respond to 100% of comments across all platforms. Again, that's _MakeItPodcast. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, you've already given us 5 stars, given us a review, followed us, whatever it may be. Come on over to YouTube. It's actually the #1 podcasting platform in the world right now with over 60% market share. People don't know that. So come on over to YouTube, search for The Make It Podcast. The in that is actually important. So The Make It Podcast will be the first thing that comes up. Come subscribe. It's so much more than the show. It's an entire platform. We have lots of different types of videos, shorts, clips, like I mentioned earlier in the show, a community section for this as well, trailers. We're going to have short films. We're going to have so much in store for the platform. So just keep following us and subscribing to us. Once you get there, it will definitely be worth your time and energy. And with that, Nick, can you please leave us with the credo?
Of course, my friend, we shall do the thing. But before we do the thing, I got to say again, thank you, Jonathan L. Bowen, for joining us on this episode of the Make It Podcast. We appreciate you, dude. Like, this is awesome. Your answers to all the questions were awesome and authentic.
Thank you so much for having me. I really love to be
awesome,
here.
Dude. We appreciate you, Chris and PB. You know, you just two great guys, you know? Ebony and ivory. And with that, I got to say to our filmmaking friends, our family, our fans, and our followers out there, be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Nick, Papa Bear, see you soon.
Yeah, guys.
See you next time.
Jonathan,
Yes, sir.
Thanks again, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, dude.
Peace.
Thank you.
Later.